Want to learn all about the had better form? You had better watch this video. I'm Miranda, your friendly teacher at the Cambridge Dictionary, and today we're learning all about the had better form. We're going to be going through the basics first, but if you want to know the advanced points and all about common student mistakes, keep watching, we'll cover those too. We use had better to refer to the present or the future, to talk about actions that we think a person should do or that are desirable in a specific situation. It's a strong recommendation. Basically, we're saying that we think something's a good idea and there would be negative consequences to not following the suggestion. For example,
I think your snake's hungry. You had better feed it. Claire's got an exam on Friday. She had better study. It's raining outside. We had better take an umbrella.
We often contract had to just d. For example, she had better becomes she'd better. They had better becomes they'd better. Let's give you some examples.
You're going for a hike today. You'd better take plenty of water. He's going to miss his train. He'd better run. Ooh, it's late. I'd better go.
Let's see if you can think of some examples. I'm going to tell you some situations and you make sentences with had better. Write your ideas in the comments.
I've got an important presentation tomorrow. I haven't practiced it yet, so...
You might have said, I had better practice, or I'd better practice.
You know, I can't see very well. I don't have any glasses.
You might have said, I had better get some glasses, or I'd better get some glasses.
My plants are sad. Oh, they need water.
You might have said, I had better water them, or I'd better water them. Now, what about the negative and question forms? To make the negative, we just add not. For example,
that dog looks a bit angry. We'd better not go near it.
And to make a question, we can just move had to the beginning of the sentence.
Had we better leave now?
However, it's more common to make a negative question.
Oh, hadn't we better leave now?
Let's talk about common learner mistakes with this form. Mistake number 1. We always use the base form of the infinitive after had better. That's the infinitive without to. So, we had better to go is incorrect. It should be, we had better go. Mistake number 2. We always use had and not have, even if we're talking about the future or the present. So, I have better go now is incorrect. It should be, I had better go now. Mistake number 3. Had better is for recommendations, not rules. So if you're going to another country, we wouldn't say, you had better show your passport because it's a rule. We'd say, you have to show your passport or you must show your passport. And had better is for advice, but it's strong advice. The implication is that there would be negative consequences to not doing as we suggest. So we might say, for example, you had better wear sunscreen today because the negative consequence of not doing that would be getting burnt. However, if a friend was visiting our town and wanted recommendations of places to visit, we wouldn't say, you had better visit the museum. We'd say, I recommend visiting the museum. We also don't use had better to talk about preferences. To say we prefer one thing more than another, we'd say, I'd rather or I prefer. For example, if you were asked the question, would you rather have chocolate or strawberry ice cream? You'd say, I'd prefer to have chocolate or I'd rather have chocolate, not I had better have chocolate. Are you ready for some more advanced points? Sometimes people say had best instead of had better, especially in informal speaking. This sounds less strong and less direct.
You'd best leave it till Monday. There's no one in the office now.
We can also use be better to and be best to for general advice. For example,
it's best to keep the receipts for new clothes, in case you change your mind.
It's always better to visit tourist attractions early in the morning, before the crowds. We hope you've learned something new today, and if there's a topic that you would like us to cover next, let us know. Follow the Cambridge Dictionary to learn more about English language.